Hello, welcome everyone to the second annual Brandjectory Pitch Slam sponsored by Tetra Pak. Today we have over $250,000 to give out in cash and prizes to our wonderful finalists. And here are the Brandjectory co-founders, Michael Movitz, Susan Bryanton, and Tom Malengo.
Myself, my partner in this is Michael Movitz, and my other partner in this is my lovely wife, Susan Bryanton. What we provide at Brandjectory is business education that helps get CPG brands investor ready. And then we offer them engagement opportunities for with CPG investors and industry experts. We have more than 120 brands on Brandjectory. We have hundreds of investors and industry experts who help us and engage with us and engage with our founders. Features that we have are the founder investor meetup, where we get small rooms with founders and investors together to talk through problems and make contacts. We have mentoring through our program called The Orbit. We have the Space Chatter, which is a founder-only meeting where founders get together and solve problems. Next slide, please, Jenna. We offer the Space Walk, which is a practice pitch session recorded for a founder with an investor. They get that recording. They get to make changes to their pitch. We offer a monthly classroom setting where we go through all the issues about capital planning, capital funding, valuation, dilution, everything like that. We offer dozens of educational webinars throughout the year, and some of our partners help us in that. And we're very reliant and very thankful for their involvement. And we also have what some on this call will say is one of the best knowledge bases in existence for emerging brands. They cover every aspect of how to build an investor-ready business and do it based upon what makes a strong business and what investors want to know about your business, what people that provide debt financing want to know about your business in order to be able to find funding and grow your business. And finally, we sit with every one of our founders and we give them our own take on the profile that they build on Brandjectory, help them build it better, help them bring out the best that they possibly can in their business to investors. So that's what Brandjectory is. If you want to know more about it, reach out to myself or Michael. And now I'm going to pass it over to Michael, who is going to tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing today.
Thanks, Tom, and welcome everybody. We are totally stoked and excited about our second annual Brandjectory pitch event sponsored by Tetra Pak. I'd like to just take a second to kind of run through the agenda and what we can expect to see today. So we've got 5 unbelievably talented and strong businesses with great founders who will be pitching today. We've got 5 great judges and a great team of hosts and color commentators. So we're going to go through the 5 pitches. We're going to then take a poll to see who amongst in the audience we're going to take a poll so that the audience can vote for who their favorite was. We'll hear a short word from some of our sponsors. We've got some special entertainment. We will announce our winners, and then we're very excited to then move into our networking session right after this event. We'll just promote everybody up who's an attendee, and so we can all see each other in gallery form. There'll be some music, some great networking. It's going to be a great time. I wish the founders and the judges a great event, and looking forward to an exciting next couple of hours. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my other co-founder, Susan Bryanton.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our co-hosts for today, Yuval Selik and Alec Karat, co-founders of PromoMesh, and reporting from the sidelines, our color analyst, Luke Abbott, founder and CEO of VDriven. Yuval, Alla, and Luke, take it from here.
Well, thank you. Sorry about in advance because we have a background, so one of us might be
In and out.
in and out. So that's the case. But Luke, how exciting is it to not only present these wonderful emerging brands, but hopefully also entertain the crowd with some back and forth banter and drop a few CPG nuggets
I
based
love
on our
it.
experience, right? We've been there, we've been bruised. How
We
about that,
have,
right?
we have. I am so excited. I actually feel like the butterflies that the presenters probably have. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for them, and this is going to be an amazing experience today.
Yeah,
Awesome.
these companies are awesome.
Yes, they are. Yeah, we got samples. I've been enjoying them the last 2 weeks, and they're all great brands.
Yeah,
Awesome.
all worthy.
Yes,
It's
for
gonna
sure.
be a tough competition.
So if it's okay with you, why don't we introduce the stars of the event? Let's introduce these fine emerging brands to all these fine folks listening. So
Fantastic.
we have 5 finalists. We have Groovy, which is a non-alcoholic beverage or beverages. We have steeped coffee, a sustainable instant coffee. We have Pastabilities, which is a low carb, high fiber, and protein pasta. We have at the 4th spot, Humble Seed, which is seed flour crackers. And we have Dale, functional sparkling water, which is pretty awesome as well. So for the crowd, why don't we show our enthusiasm for these incredible brands and show some love in the chat? Why don't we throw out some claps, hearts, unicorn emojis? I want to see them coming because it's always wonderful.
are.
There we go. For some support, right? Let's move on and introduce the judges. Ala, why don't you take that?
All righty. So today we have Shayna Harris from the Supply Change Capital. We have Triette Nguyen from Render Capital. We have Alan Murray, board member and chairman. We have Jamie Bortek from JCB Growth Ventures. And finally, Liz Meislick from Loft Growth Partners.
Awesome. So that being said, why don't we get started?
Yep.
Right? So we got finalist number 1. We have Nikki Swanee from Groovy.
You ready to go, Nikki?
Ready to go?
Okay.
Do we need to do a little tap dance or something? Good. How's your voice? You want to sing a song?
I
Oh,
only
we're gonna-
sing in Spanish, mariachi songs, and I could do that for you.
All right, awesome.
This is going to be very exciting. I participated in the rehearsal, so I did get to hear the pitches a few days ago, and the decks are really cool. And I think it's going to be a very interesting presentation for all of you today. I wish you could try everything because it's very tasty.
Yeah, we've tried
unlike
all the
us.
products.
Yeah.
What do you have there, Luke? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking the juicy IPA. Just
Uh-huh.
pop one of these open for the pitch slam, so I kind of relax into it, and it's
Awesome.
delicious. So,
Yeah, and I've got a sangria actually in this.
I did
glass
that
here.
first. I did that first. That
Yeah.
was like Friday evening. That was like going
Nice.
into my weekend. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's very tasty. These products are incredible. I don't know how the judges are going to choose a winner, really. They're just, all these brands are so
Mhm.
great.
Yep.
Oh,
It's live, right? So I'm gonna
live TV,
Keep on
live
going.
Zoom.
Live TV.
live
Yes.
is fun.
Am
All right,
I on now?
You are, Nikki.
Totally.
we hear
Well,
you.
I was kicked off. It's typical CPG fashion, you know. You get kicked off, you get another beat down, but you got to come back and present here.
Nikki, it's so true. But you're gonna kill it, right? So we're ready for you.
Yep. All right,
Okay, take care.
Fine.
Finalist,
let's go.
finalist number 1, Nikki
Nikki.
Sani with Groovy. Take it away, Nikki.
Thanks, guys. Awesome. Great to meet everyone. My name is Nikki. I'm founder and CEO of Groovy. Next slide. Groovy is a brand to help people transition to lower alcohol lifestyles. And we do so by producing just an incredible variety of the world's best tasting alcohol-free products. We've been around for 5 years. We'll sell over $6 million of product this year. We have national partnerships with incredible retailers like Whole Foods, and Target, and just won an incredible amount of awards this year, which I'm very, very excited to talk about. So next slide. I think a lot of us have heard about the excitement in the alcohol-free space, the growth, the opportunity. A few years ago, I probably needed like 4 or 5 slides to present that. I've condensed down to one to really show you guys the opportunity. Countries like Spain and Germany are now having about 10% of their alcohol sales being alcohol-free. That's 1 in every 10 beers. And to put that in contrast, the US is at 1%, and we are heading straight towards the same path as those countries. And each percent gain for the US represents $3 billion of new market opportunity. And what's so exciting is this is fresh demand from the consumer, and there's really no existing loyalty. So this is a unique opportunity for upstart brands like Groovy that are authentic to the space and produces incredible products to capture this market share. Next slide. So what makes Groovy so unique? You know, why have we been successful so far, and why are we uniquely positioned to capture this growth? It really comes down to these 3 pillars. You know, 5 years ago, we talked to consumers, we visited these other countries, and we asked them, hey, what was the main obstacle they had for adopting alcohol-free products? And it came down to these 3 reasons. So we decided to build the brand, the company, everything we do to differentiate across these 3 pillars. Next slide. Taste, obviously the most important thing in any food and beverage category, but even more important in the alcohol-free space where there's already a negative stigma around how these products will taste. So I'm incredibly proud to announce in the last 12 months, we've become the first brand ever, alcohol or not, to have produced the highest awarded beer and wine in the same year. So we won the gold medal at the World Cup of Beer. They had 130 different NA beers from around the world. Groovy was selected as the closest to an alcoholic version. And same thing on the wine side, 300 non-alcoholic wines globally. Groovy was selected as the winner. I know I've got some to the judges, so I'm excited to get some feedback during the questions. Next slide. Variety. We produce a larger variety of alcohol-free products than anybody in the market. We do sparkling wines, we do still wines, we do RTDs, we do a variety of craft beers, so that any moment can be a Groovy moment. Next slide. And accessibility and availability, despite a team of 4 salespeople, we're sold in over 5,000 locations. We have our foot in the door in most major retailers, and everywhere where Groovy is sold, we're selling 25% better than the category average. We have some huge partnerships lined up for spring resets of 2024. Next slide. Awesome. So I'd say these are probably the 3 most important slides of the presentation coming up. And it's really our growth strategy and go-to-market strategy. So beverage can be incredibly competitive, and there are new alcohol-free brands joining almost on a weekly basis. So we developed a 3-step process to be able to show how we're going to grow and compete with brands that have 100 times the budget of Groovy. So step 1 is around converting trial and expanding participation. And so the whole brand and whole business is designed to win more occasions than any other alcohol-free brand. And the way that we do that is, when consumers have a need, whether that's, hey, I got to go to a baby shower, I need a beer, but it's a Monday, or I need something to relax, they show up to the retail shelf and they see Groovy with this incredible brand block, incredible variety. We have single serve, so it really reduces the risk for that consumer and increases our likelihood of being picked up off the shelf. Once we get that trial, we then deliver an exceptional taste experience, and then we start to work to increase moments and usages. We do so by QR codes on the packages. We do so by showing the variety across our format and really showing the different moments that can be alcohol-free in one's life. Next slide. We then take this convert trial and expand participation and focus it very narrowly on 3 select channels. These channels are Whole Foods nationally, the state of Colorado, and Loblaws, which is in the country of Canada. The reason being, if we can become a top 5 brand across all of these categories, it reduces the risk for a strategic or for investors to show that the brand could scale and has the potential to scale to a national level. Next slide. And our 3rd step of our growth strategy is something we call punching above our weight. And basically this is A dollar invested in Groovy marketing and awareness needs to have a higher return than a dollar spent by Heineken Zero, for example. And so the way that we execute this strategy is by owning the alcohol-free menu and alcohol-free kind of section at on-trade events. So on the left here is a menu of a large music venue in Colorado. They used to sell Athletic prior to it. We took over their menu, expanded the options, increased the awareness. We now sell 3 times more than the incumbent product, and we're starting to take over more venues, by the month, basically. Next slide. And this is our strategy in work. We're the 5th biggest alcohol-free brand out of 85 in Colorado, competing against some absolutely massive companies. Next slide. In the entire wine category, we have the highest velocity in the last 52 weeks for the markets that we're in, and growing faster than the category average as well. Next slide. And finally, I'd like to present our seed round. So we're raising a $4 million seed round with some really incredible CPG angel investors already on board, from Campbell Soup and Heineken and Ball, along with some exciting angel groups and VCs. So yeah, I'd like to open up for questions from the judges.
Well, thank you for that, Nikki. That was incredible. Great deck. I'm waiting to see what James Bortek is going to ask, because you got some really interesting products there. So James, show's yours.
Awesome. Congrats to everybody, and Nikki, to you, not only to be a finalist, but really impressed with your results. You're really starting to get, it looks like a 7-8 million run rate. You're proving it out in a lot of channels. You've got all these reviews. You've got awards, repeat rate. Amazing. It's very groovy to me, and I really enjoyed the product. So kudos. So I'm going to be doing a good portion of your questions here. And I think with you, I really want to start with market size, because there's stuff out there that talks about non-alc, let's call it like 15 billion, and you showed some stuff in Europe, but I want to make sure we specify, let's just take beer for itself. Yep. Non-alcoholic beer in the US, in conventional grocery mass, what is that size of business?
Well, I'm fortunate you asked, because I just sat on a panel. We're fortunate. Groovy is one of the founding members of ANBA, which is the Adult Non-Alcoholic Beverage Association. So I actually just presented this data, so perfect timing. Year to date, the entire market, this is including beer, wine, and spirits in the US, is about 500 million. Beer is about 88% of that. So it's the big chunk. Wine and non-alc spirits growing quickly, but not quite the size beer is today. Okay, thank you. And then just as a size, like we've seen Athletic, as you referenced, I think another brand, Partake, has come in, as you showed. We're trying to understand, like, what does success look like? Athletic is, if I understand, there was maybe 37 million and up to 50 million, but they've put a lot of money into the business. Yeah. And then, as you know, there's a lot of incoming competition. I think the big question is, given the size of the market, space at retail, you name it, only a few players can win. So can you just speak a little bit about maybe your decision for the fundraise of 4 million, and maybe where you're seeing your next round to compete with the larger players? Because there might be some, you're also providing some proof points in Colorado and providing it, but can you just speak to, like, overall driving to your sales potential and your fundraising needs to compete in this segment? Yeah, no, great questions. So one of the aspects of raising this seed round is to bring some of the technology in-house. So we're putting out a capital investment for some dealcoholization equipment, which will again bring margin back to the business. And that would set us up really nicely for our Series A, which might be, a $5 or $7 million round. I don't believe that it's a winner take all type of market. I think that they'll be, your national players, but there will be like these very profitable regional brands that kind of evolved like in the beer space, whether that's like a New Belgium or a Sierra Nevada. Like I see those kind of opportunities. And so for Groovy at this point in size is like becoming one of those top brands in those select channels. And, as we get more capital and as we start winning and we can invest more back into the brand, then we can start competing against the Athletics of the world. They put a ton of money behind the brand. They were early, but if you crack open an Athletic can and a Groovy lager, there is a discernible taste quality difference there that, we just got to educate and have people try the difference.
Thank you. Excellent. Now, just moving to like the future opportunity, one of your projections were, maybe be in the 20 million and change front. Can you speak to capacity? I think I read you might have 4 co-packers. Can you speak to if the run rate was available right now to hit 20 million, can you supply it? What does capacity look like?
Yeah, we're working to supply it. So the beers are starting to be produced on both coasts at large co-man. So once that happens, then we'll be able to supply it on the beer. And then with the wine, we work with one of the largest wine co-packers. So the constraint right now is on the beer side. We probably have scale for like 15, 20 million, but we would need to make some changes there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Nikki, thank you for that. And
James,
thank you for that.
Great questions.
Any other questions from the investors?
From our judges?
Sorry, from our judges. Oh.
Yeah, I have, it's Alan Murray here. I have one question related to your progress this year. I think that in the pre-reading stuff, I saw what the projection was. I just wanted to know how you're doing against your projection for 2023.
Yeah, so we had projected probably doing around 8 million, and we'll do like 6.5. Yeah.
And you see that accelerating into next year?
Yeah, we have a large Walmart deal that's going to be a large distribution, and probably about like 3,000 points of distribution that are already accounted for. So expansion there, and again with the growth of the category and the awareness of the consumers, like we expect the velocity to naturally increase across our existing points of distribution.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks.
Go ahead, Alan.
I was just going to say, and thanks for the products. Friends and neighbors enjoyed all of them.
Did you have a favorite? Was there anything that stuck out for you?
Yeah, it depends on the time of the day. The sangria goes with this and the beer goes at that time. So you had to kind of mix them up a little bit.
That's the Groovy goal. Groovy for any moment, increased consumption opportunities. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so are we done with the questions from the judges? I think we're good,
I have
right?
a question. This is
Yeah.
Liz. Nikki, first I want to say congratulations on the products. They're really great. Really appreciate your presentation and the strategy that you have, the growth strategy. My question is just given, doing any one of these products well is really challenging. You talked to some of the complexities of that. How do you think about, in the context of just growth and looking at the performance of each of the SKUs and product categories over time, how do you think about, whether to lean in and expand in one of your product categories versus maybe retiring and focusing, narrowing in on your product mix?
Yeah, so great question. So we are constantly innovating new products just to see. So we have a core that's 6 SKUs, basically 3 beers, 3 wines. That's our core lineup. And then we're always innovating on the side and dropping it on our D2C channel. And so if you've seen the products, they have these little QR codes, you can give your feedback. And so if we notice that one of the initial hype of the product or the repeat is starting to outperform one of the core, then we'll bring it into select retail. If the velocity is again higher than one of the core, then we'll scale it to our national retail partners, again, just to ensure that we have our 6 best SKUs at scale, but continuing to innovate to make sure we don't kind of miss the boat on anything.
Awesome. All right. Well, we've tried Groovy. We're drinking it right now, the sangria. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Let's get to finalist number 2. How about that? So, Josh
You
Wilbur,
ready?
you ready, Josh?
Yep.
All right. So
Awesome.
we got Josh Wilbur
From Steeped. Take it away.
All right. Hi, Josh, CEO and founder of Steeped. We are the premium single-serve method where craft coffee is made like tea, making a freshly brewed cup accessible to anyone, anytime, and anywhere. Next slide. Because I'm talking about specialty coffee, it's important to point out that we are coffee without compromise. And so we're a certified benefit corporation or a certified B Corp, where we're focused on doing business for good. And we're also a public benefit corporation where we have a double bottom line for not just profits, but also purpose. And Steeped is excited to blend together for the first time the ultra premium taste with unplugged convenience and authentic sustainability. Next slide. Now, people love coffee. It's but in the US and Europe alone, there's 62 billion single-serve pods and capsules that are used per year. Yet the majority of the single-serve market doesn't own the required machinery, creating a huge barrier to purchase products. And the opportunities don't stop there. Next slide. So with single-serve, there's lots of limitations, whether it's not owning a machine just to be able to use the product, or when you do, having to plug it in just to make coffee, so there's no portability, losing convenience, or if it's just people who really like great specialty coffee or local options. Those brands are often not willing to sacrifice taste for convenience to work with current single-serve options. And then there's the sustainability with the environmental impact. So no matter what the barriers are, the accessibility is brought down and the barriers are increasing, and yet there's billions of pods sold to that market still. Next slide. All right, so with single serve, enter Steeped solution. So there's no machines required. It's completely accessible to anybody. And I can send a pack to any home, and I know that they're going to be able to enjoy a great cup of coffee, no matter what the brewer, no matter what equipment they own. It's also unplugged, so you can have the same cup in your living room by the fire as you can in the woods by your campfire. We're also barista approved, and so we're working with top coffee, specialty coffee brands who would never put their coffee in a single serve, method otherwise. Yet they're choosing us because they know that our brand, our brewing method will make their coffee taste exactly like they would expect it to. And we're guilt-free packaging, everything we do, no footprints left behind. And so Steeped removes all of these various barriers, so the total addressable market is not limited in any way. And I think about grocery, can you imagine going down the tea aisle and not seeing tea bags? We're bringing that same universal all-in-one experience, but to coffee. Next slide. And I love this quote by Pat Gelsinger. He says, every room in every hotel should have Steeped. Couldn't agree more. Whether it's the hotel room or boardroom or dorm room, it's a really easy brewing method that anyone can enjoy. We're also a proprietary platform. So we're licensing our technology, co-branded with top brands, and we're a category creator. Steeped is not just a single brand, but a whole category driving hundreds of brands. Next slide. Now, we're not coffee in a tea bag. This is its own method. And sometimes the simplest things are the hardest to achieve. We've put a lot of innovation to make something just this simple work. And so whether it's our certified compostable materials or ultrasonically welded edges with no glues or staples, perfect portions for ideal coffee to water ratio, or it's our triple nitro sealed packs, removing all the oxygen. So it essentially stops the clock on the coffee aging process. So when you open up a pack, it's going to fill the room with that aroma that you would expect, that fresh grind smell. Next slide. And everything that we do, we have comprehensive IP strategy around what we're doing. We have 4 international patents already, dozens of trademarks and more coming down the line. And so no matter what it is, whether it's now or in, for a potential acquisition in the future, we're making sure that we're paying attention to protect this method. Next slide. All right, so we're award-winning. We've been getting tons of recognition over the years, whether it's business side or the product side, and our team's just done an incredible job getting the word out there. So next slide. We have tons of featured customers across various verticals. We have a good diversification mix, whether it's roasters, thousands of grocery stores that we've established over the COVID times, or whether it's our current focus that we're really going in on with food service and hospitality for this, free trial type aspect of what we're doing. And so the away from home hotel guest will become the at-home Steeped ambassador, or the weekday employee will become a weekend Steeped fan. Next slide. And so whether it's top roasters from coast to coast, we have over 400. Next slide. Or whether it's private label with brands like Whole Foods or Curtis Stone or nonprofits like Charity Water, we have lots of different packs and options to choose from. Next slide. Now, we've had tons of growth already, but we've done some incredible improvements this year, and we're excited about even bigger growth ahead with our upcoming Series A in Q1 that we're aiming towards. Next slide. And anytime you see a hockey stick slide, it's always good to back up those numbers, but even closing just one of these opportunities that are in our current pipeline can significantly accelerate even those revenue projections that we currently have. Next slide. And we've got the team to do it. We put together an incredible team this year, and we just can't wait to see continued success. Next slide. We're fundraising a $2 million Seed Plus round right now for a convertible note with accredited investors, and we've got an incredible investor community already. Next slide, but can't wait to meet some new faces as well.
All right, I love that buzzer. That got me twitching here. All right.
Great job, Josh.
Great job. Thank you for that. Liz, you are up.
Thank you. Josh, great presentation, great product. I'm enjoying some Steeped right now.
Nice, cheers.
Not a sangria. Too early in the day for me. But anyway, I just want to say first and foremost that the concept that you have here is incredibly exciting and innovative in a category where we see a lot of brands and products. You're doing something very novel, and it really stands out. What's more, I like that the novelty of the product is really about how it's used, and you're using something that is familiar and translating that in a new way from tea to coffee. Also, just wanted to mention that I was before, well, I guess about a month ago, I was in Austin staying at a hotel there, and they had Steeped in the hotel room. So it was the first time I'd experienced it. So that was very cool. So I have more questions than we have time for. So I'm going to focus mine in 3 areas: product, growth strategy, and economics. So in terms of the product, you outlined how you've gone through a very methodical approach to, MVP, finding product market fit, really testing the market, et cetera. What did you learn about your consumer and the usage occasion when you did that? And how did that influence how you have evolved the offering?
Yeah. So our first go-to-market strategy was really to partner with roasters, just because it would help get the brand out, the method awareness, adoption, and it would also help, raise the bar while working with specialty coffee roasters. And so we did that in the beginning and got out to hundreds of great partnerships, and they're all co-branded, so it always helps the brewing method. But as we continue to develop and get out into the market more, right around COVID, we were about to transition into this food service kind of paid trial aspect where you're selling into, companies, but then they're giving that product away. So people aren't having to make that purchase decision on every trial. They just get to try it for free, and then it turns into something familiar at home. And so we learned that we probably went into grocery, and we kind of knew this too, but we went into grocery a couple of years before we wanted to. But it was kind of that timing with COVID that shut things down. And so we've now reversed back, and we're spinning up the hotel, hospitality channels, things like that. And what we're finding in general, and a big shift that we're doing with the company, is making sure we've got enough larger brands that people are really recognizing, because there's several things to get past when you're selling. It's already training someone on a new brewing method. And so if you can avoid also having to teach people a new coffee brand that they're not familiar with, because so many people's taste and preferences are tied to, specific large brands or specialty companies. And so we want to make sure we're partnering with those companies, so our method really takes the forefront, and giving people choice on the different coffees that they can experience. So you can have multiple coffees on the grocery store shelf, multiple brands at work, or even multiple brands in the hotel room. So people aren't having to just partner with, one community coffee pot or one brand.
Okay, thank you. And specifically, what did you learn about who your consumer is? Who is the consumer for a steeped product, and what makes it different?
We thought we had it figured out in the beginning, but we're learning that it's a bit wider of a market. We kind of joke around, it's, do you drink coffee? But that we still are focused on kind of that 25 to 45 age range, medium to upper, medium to upper income. But we've also been proven completely wrong with some of our brand partnerships that are really focused on, college age, or the older age range as well. And so we're not seeing a lot of limitations. It's more just getting people to try it, because there's always that surprise of, wow, this is really good. I wasn't expecting that. And so for us, the biggest thing to overcome is getting people to trial it so they know how good it is, and it gets rid of any initial stigmatisms that might be there.
Josh,
thank you.
Thank
You
you,
talked a little
Liz.
bit about,
Liz and Josh, sorry, we got, that was the last question from Liz, just because of timing. Any other judges or investors?
We have time for one more
we have
investor
one
question.
Yeah.
Hey, question. I'm curious to know, how can you justify the valuation that you guys are going off of? If I saw correctly, you're raising $2 million at a $33 million post. So that essentially you're giving up about 6% of the company.
So the 2 million we're doing right now is a seed plus. And so it's not a priced round, which will happen with our Series A coming up. It's a convertible note. So that will convert into an eventual Series A. And then the convertible note comes with some advantages for early investors. And so it's not technically a valuation, it's a cap, but then that also pairs with a discount. So investors get interest, and then the better of those terms. Can go into more detail with anyone who wants later, but just to save everyone. But no, great question.
Awesome.
We have time for one more question.
Yeah, really quick one. Talk to us about your margin and how that benchmarks with your competitive set.
Yeah. So our margins right now, we actually did a pretty big jump in our product gross margins this year. We changed up our model from doing manufacturing ourselves to doing more of a hybrid co-packing relationship, but we own the equipment, own the materials, and have a lot of control still with all of our IP and everything else. And so we actually had a 42% increase on that margin. And we were, much lower margin, single digits, and now we've gotten back up into the 40s, but we have a lot of opportunities as we continue to build bulk volume that's going to drive our cost down even for better margins in the future. But we've got some good pricing. where we can get into hotel bulk, and compete with that whole subset, or we can go into retail and come up at a higher price point, but we have a lot of flexibility.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, guys. So while the investors, judges are deliberating and scoring, Luke, we got a couple of minutes to banter here.
I love it.
I want to bring you into the conversation. So we've had Steve Coffee. I'm sure you've tried Steve's coffee.
Yes.
What do you think?
I love Steve Coffee, and I'm like, this is one of those things where I think, why wasn't this done before? Why did this take so long? This is absurd. that this is like an emerging idea, right? And it makes so much sense. And look at all the different channels that they're operating in, right? Retail can be very hard to be profitable in, but they're operating in food service. They're doing private label. It seems like a really smart market strategy that they're operating under.
For sure. I would say hotels is probably the place because it's the easiest way to get that cup going. And I will say I'm a big coffee nut, and the taste, the fact that Josh was able to get the right amount of coffee in that bag, and the IP of that fabric of the bag, the paper that they're using, the material, that it really kind of seeps into the water so perfectly. I would say they really nailed that. So congrats on that, Josh, really.
Yeah, fantastic. There's literally no sacrifice, right, between bringing it any other way and this way.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's awesome. And thank you for that, Luke, for that color commentary. Now we jump into finalist number 3. Carrie and John Aaron, Possibilities. Love the name, by the way.
And Carrie's going to present today. And then afterwards, both Carrie and John will answer the questions. So Carrie, are you on mic and ready to go?
I think I am. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Can.
Take it away.
Okay. Hey, everybody. It's time to modernize pasta. And 132 million underserved, health-minded consumers would say it's long overdue. In 1998, the Atkins diet made carbs the enemy. Other grain categories like breakfast bars and breads have rebounded through innovation, but the pasta industry has been slow to innovate, and its connection with consumers has been fading for decades. Fixing pasta will bring consumers back to the pasta aisle and unlock a $1.6 billion opportunity. John and I have over 30 years experience in pasta. We started our company in 1993 and set ourselves apart by combining artisanal manufacturing with fun pasta shapes. This high margin approach helped us build our team and a 29,000 square foot plant that we call our innovation factory. Here's the problem. Consumers are leaving the pasta aisle. 40% of Americans, or 132 million people, are either on a diet or following a healthy lifestyle. And for them, pasta is not on the menu, and it's one of the first things they regrettably have to give up. So it's easy to understand why people are leaving. When you look at the industry over time, traditional pasta's trend is down and will continue. Gluten-free pasta, Pasta 2.0, is another story. It's about innovation for a very small population of celiacs and gluten intolerant, with the baggage of poor taste and high carbs. This is the hidden opportunity, modernizing pasta to serve 132 million people that are unsatisfied with today's pasta offering. This $1.6 billion forecast is 3 times larger than the gluten-free market was in 2020. But the population we're targeting is 6 times larger. We are leading Pasta 3.0, a new category of better-for-you pasta, healthy pasta that tastes great. We're the only pasta company that is hitting that sweet spot at the intersection of taste, texture, and healthy attributes. This is the brass ring that brands look for because it guarantees happy customers, word of mouth, and repeat purchases. We are formulating our recipes to serve the 3 largest segments of health-minded consumers today. These product lines deliver real pasta taste with much better attributes, like more protein, fewer net carbs, and higher fiber, exactly what health-minded consumers have been searching for. This is our competition. The future of pasta is in that upper right-hand quadrant where taste and health rule. Most of the competition today comes from the saturated gluten-free market. Why? The recipes are easy to replicate. Any co-manufacturer can extrude a veggie or a bean. But we're doing something different. We aren't walking away from the wheat, we are innovating the wheat. Because we know that without wheat, it's not going to taste like pasta. The little competition that we have, like Goodles or Barilla's Protein Plus, does use wheat, but they take a one-size-fits-all recipe approach with far less nutrition, and it doesn't serve today's pasta consumer. Pastability stands alone in our ability to innovate proprietary recipes which address the widest range of dietary goals. Consumers may want more protein or they may want less calories. And with our equipment and recipe versatility, we have a defensible competitive advantage. Okay, the numbers don't lie. Take a look at our protein pasta chart. We have more than twice the amount of protein than any other pasta on the market and less than half the net carbs. For health-minded consumers, this means pasta is back on the menu. But we don't just deliver on numbers. We deliver on taste. Take a look at this very low glycemic index review. I almost cried on my first bite because it's been years since I could dive into a bowl of pasta. This is so powerful because we all know that satisfying feeling of being reunited with something you love. Now let's talk about velocity and traction. Things are already beginning to happen. At Kroger, 112% year-over-year growth with a strong brand royalty by their own basket data. Whole Foods has just launched and we're already approaching 2 units per SKU per store per week. And Amazon's over 700% growth reflects consumers' pent-up demand, word of mouth, and excitement for our pasta. And just this week, we landed our first meal kit company, which is focusing on delivering healthy meals direct to consumer. We'll be making 75 to 100,000 pounds of modernized pasta for them next year. As you can see, the investable growth is in the healthy pasta. In 2028, 5 years into Pasta 3.0, we think the total market will be approaching $250 million, and our share of that market will be $48 million, or 20%. We accomplished this by penetrating only 12,000 store doors, or about a third of grocery. This forecast includes 6 SKUs selling 4 units per store per week. We think our forecast is achievable. We believe that each of our recipes, protein, low calorie, and fiber, could each be $100 million, given that we are addressing a population 6 times larger than gluten-free. We are raising $2 million to fund our growth at Amazon, our growth in grocery, and to ensure we have the ability to produce ever-increasing amounts of pasta. We are the right people with the right brand, and it's the right time. We are inviting you to join us to fund our vision for Pasta 3.0. Once health-minded consumers discover that finally somebody's been innovating on their behalf, modernized pasta will unlock a $1.6 billion opportunity, and we can't wait. We believed, oh, the world is full of possibilities.
Yes,
All right.
it is.
Love it.
Great job,
Thank
Carrie.
you.
Thanks, Carrie. Alan, you're up. You got 5 minutes.
Are you guys going to let, oh,
Okay.
John's in. Okay, good.
Yep. Hey, John.
Hey,
Take it
first of
away,
all,
Alan.
Welcome, John.
Hey, guys.
First of all, thanks for the products. I've got to send you some pictures of how we dressed them up and ate them at home here. They were absolutely delicious. I was very careful to taste them separately first and then add all the goodies. And in terms of taste and texture, you definitely got it right. It's indeed absolutely no compromise. So compliments on that. Yeah, a couple of questions. Looks like this year is a bit of a flat year for you guys. What's the reason behind that?
God, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, it's a lot of timing issues. Most of our focus has been on innovation and getting the product out in the market. We've had a couple of hits and have worked our way through them. And so we really expect a much better year next year.
Okay, thanks for that. And then interested to see your velocities. You're slightly below the category at the moment, and I think you're anticipating in the business projections going forward, moving from 1.5 to 2. What's going to help us get there?
It's the experience, the consumer experience, and spreading the word of mouth. If you look closely, what we're really talking about is the very beginning steps of Pasta 3.0. Consumers don't even know that they can get what they're already getting in breakfast bars and breads. And so we're starting from the beginning, and you can see in the basket data at Kroger that if they don't have the protein pasta on the shelf, the consumer's not buying another pasta.
And I'll also add that we went through a brand refresh just in the last few months where we changed our packaging to be much clearer for what the message we're selling, like protein, low calorie, fiber. And that difference has already made an impact at Kroger immediately. So instead of having a word that's vague, like some of our competitors do or something, when you look at the shelf, if you're looking for protein, you're definitely going to pick up the box. And when you turn it over and see the chart that compares us to our competitors, there's no question that you're going to at least give it a try.
Yeah, it's very clear. Congratulations on getting that sort of level of clarity there. Hey, one more question. I liked your Amazon sales. I like the size of the subscription versus non-subscription. AOVs are good. I didn't see any cost of acquisition. What is it costing you to pull in one of these customers?
It ranges. First of all, the spend is small. The price is $7.49 a box for a 2-pack. And so we're setting a value proposition that people are going for. The rate of growth is tremendous in 700% growth. It's dynamic change. And of course, they're telling friends. But eventually, this is all then focused on in the grocery store at elevated price compared to the competition, but a value price compared to where they bought it the first time online.
And yeah, I would just add that we're at the very beginning of this. So one of the reasons we're raising money is for the marketing. What we are spending on Amazon or are able to spend at the grocery stores is definitely converting. We're seeing a trend, we're seeing that work for us. So the customer response has been tremendous, but again, we're at the very beginning. So we're in a transition from being mostly a specialty company to really having products now that are for everyday consumption. And that's a whole new, position to be in.
Okay, I'll hand the questions back to the rest of the judges.
Thanks, Alan.
What channels do you foresee the bulk of your sales? Like, where are you excited about your growth?
So what's really exciting is, 10 years ago when gluten-free was just getting going, there was no alternative pasta section. And now they're available in 33,000 stores. And there is a pullback going on in gluten-free, making that space available for a migration from 2.0 to 3.0. And so we're forecasting 12,000 stores, which seems very reasonable for 2028.
Yeah, I would say, we're really going to be focusing on the coast, but regarding where the volume is going to come from, certainly Amazon is a great place to be where people are actually searching for these key terms, protein, low calorie and whatnot. We also get great consumer feedback from that. Because it's pasta, the direct to consumer, we're a little cautious about doing it ourselves and investing in that because, it's hard to get a return when your boxes are, $5 to $7 each. But so I would say Amazon and then definitely the grocery channel are the two things we're focused on right now. But food service, like we've just seen, is going to be, we've had a lot of inquiries because there are a lot of people that are doing these meal kits that do have pasta. They're looking for something healthier. And it's been, we've had responses and interest from professional athletic teams and, people like that are, feeding, and it can really drive a lot of growth and volume for us next year.
We have a question from the crowd, which is, what's the product margin and how do you drive higher velocities at retail to stay on the shelf?
Yeah, so our range is 58 to 70. And those are very high margins relative to the standards, and they're warranted because of the ingredients. When you start to compare flour prices with proteins, you're in a totally different league.
Yeah, and I would say in terms of that too, being in the manufacturer ourselves, we're in complete control of our cost and also the ingredients that go in. And we have these relationships with ingredient suppliers that allow us to maintain and continue to increase what our gross margins are going to be over time. But regarding consumers, we need to get trial. We need to get people to put it in their basket. So being able to fund some of that through coupons and digital coupons and marketing will be the best way to go.
Hey, John Kerry. First,
Hi.
I'm impressed with the taste. At my previous fund, and we looked into the space, and yeah, the texture is just terrible on your competitors. So congrats there. I'm curious to know, say $2 million hit the bank by the end of the day today. What's going to be your biggest obstacle for the next 12, 15 months?
The focus will be mostly in marketing. Up until now, there was a lot of innovation and a lot of product positioning for the consumer. What you commented on is so important to know. This is a time of massive change in the pasta world, and you have to have the right model. And if you are not the manufacturer working directly with ingredient scientists, you are not going to be able to generate the balance between sensory and high health attributes that we offer. So that brand promise will carry the day.
All right. Thank you so much. Luke, first of all, that was great. We loved it. Luke, we got 3 minutes while the investors are deliberating. So first thing, I want to remind everyone, all the investors out there, to secure a slot with all these great founders at the Brandjectory's Investors Day.
On the 18th.
On the 18th, so October 18th. And then
there's a link.
There's a link in the chat.
That's it.
And also take your phone, grab your phone, open up the camera, right? And scan me right there, right in the middle of the screen to get some more information, right? So that's step 1, open phone. Step 2, turn camera. Step 3, scan me. There we go.
Great demo, Luke.
Luke, you
I
have
just did
passed the test for scanning.
Demonstration live.
All right. Then the other housekeeping item is that there's going to be some great deals on all these wonderful products. Go to Brandjectory now.com /pitch slam special offers. Again, it's in the chat. So that is what you should do. But Luke, I think we've been at this for a little bit. Maybe everybody should just do a little back stretching.
I like it. Some jumping jacks. Let's do it. Come on, everybody.
Come on. Let's do something. All right. So first thing I want you to do now, before we get to 30 seconds of 30 seconds, let me tell you this. Deep breath, everyone. All right, a little yoga here. And let it out. Okay, good. Now we're back. We can take on the rest of the show.
And I do want to just say, I don't know if Yuval was clear enough that if you do go to that second link, you will get very special deals on these incredible prices that the brands are so generous to share with all of you. I would take advantage of it because these products are just that good.
I got to be honest, the pasta. Now I'm on a high protein kick. And when I got the box, I'm like, oh, wow, this is awesome. And it tastes really great. Look, what do you think? You a pasta guy?
I'm a pasta guy. I've been making my family chicken tortilla soup recipe for decades and never added pasta until last week, and everyone loved it. So yeah, absolutely a good experience. And great job, guys. Up to 70% margin. Like drop the mic.
Exactly.
I mean, right on.
The only higher margin you get is with illegal substances, so that's good.
Which we won't. We don't do those here. No.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we go
to the next.
Finalist number 4 is
Sarah Mace.
The Humble Seed.
You ready to go, Sarah? Awesome. Unmute. And start
There we
whenever
go.
you're ready.
You're good.
Thank you, honey.
Amazing. Hi, guys. My name is Sarah Mice. I'm the founder and CEO of The Humble Seed. I'm thrilled to be here today. So I grew up in Boulder, Colorado before Boulder was, well, Boulder, the health and wellness mecca that we know today. I am the product of a mother who was a very early adopter of natural foods. When Wonder Bread ruled the lunchboxes of children everywhere, I was sent to school with homemade slices that were packed with lots of whole grains and sunflower and pumpkin seeds. With this as the landscape of my childhood, it probably wasn't a surprise that I ended up working in the natural foods industry. For the past 2 decades, I've led marketing and innovation teams at large and small CPG companies. I guess you could say that better for you foods have just always been in my DNA. Inspired by my mom, a couple of years ago, I set out to build a snack brand that would truly make her proud. Across all of the innovation work that I had done in my career, I had started to fall in love with seeds, and I saw real white space opportunity to elevate these little superfoods in some of our favorite snacks. Seeds are commanding a ton of attention right now, both for their health benefits and for their ability to thrive in a world impacted by climate change. And because seeds are generally easier to grow and grow in more locations, they also cost significantly less than nuts. And so I created the Humble Seed. The Humble Seed is a seriously seedy cracker that's deliciously crisp and perfectly snack sized so that your whole family can snack happy and healthy. We chose to use seeds, nature's original superfoods, because they're nutrient dense, taste delicious, and are naturally allergen friendly, gluten free, and grain free. The Humble Seed is a truly differentiated cracker with the ability to disrupt an $8 billion category. Today, consumers are still largely forced to choose between grain-based crackers that are high in blood sugar spiking simple carbohydrates, or to a lesser extent, grain-free crackers made with water-hungry almonds that don't always deliver on taste. The Humble Seed solves this problem by using seeds to create a deliciously light and crisp cracker that delivers a more balanced ratio of healthy fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. And we deliver against macro trends, allergen-friendly, paleo, and grain-free, all of which are driving current cracker category growth. The Humble Seed launched on store shelves a little over a year ago, and I'm thrilled to say that we've seen significant momentum in our first year. We launched first at all Sprouts locations, and retail buyer response to the product has truly been exceptional. So far in 2023, we have closed 100% of the new accounts that we actively pitch, and we see significant distribution gains growing in 2024 as well. Fun story, a couple of weeks ago, I got an email from the buyer at HEB letting us know that he'd selected the Humble Seed to go into their Better For You cracker sets. The fun part about this email was we'd never even had a meeting with this HEB buyer. He selected us to go on shelves just after tasting the product. We're also seeing a really fast start on e-commerce. One of the most important metrics is that approximately 30% of our sales are already coming from repeat buyers, which shows a really strong consumer loyalty. The picture here is from one of our Amazon reviews. This was posted by a gentleman named Dwight Tuggle. I can't make that name up. He bought $400 worth of our crackers in a single purchase in our first month on Amazon. He later posted this 5-star review along with that incredible picture of all of the Humble Seed boxes in his pantry. I am happy to say that we have a truly remarkable team behind the Humble Seed. I was joined by 3 other co-founders, Steve, Jennifer, and Mary. Between the 4 of us, we've all held C-suite level executive roles at some of the best brands in the business. We have proven experience building, scaling, and successfully exiting brands. In this first year, we've laid a really strong foundation for growth. And over the next several years, expect to see aggressive revenue gains along with margin expansion. And beyond crackers, well, the seedy possibilities are truly endless to take the brand into more categories. To date, the Humble Seed has been bootstrapped by the 4 founders from concept to on shelf at over 1,200 stores. We're currently raising a $750,000 convertible note to fund future growth and new distribution in 2024 and beyond. Here at the Humble Seed, we have an incredibly experienced team of industry veterans and a differentiated product that's a bullseye match for the needs of growing food tribes. And there's true brand extendability with different innovation opportunities. My mom's name was Julia, and sadly, she passed away about 10 years ago. But I know if she were here today, she would join us in believing that the future of snacks is truly seedy.
Awesome. Sarah, thank you so much. It's mice, not mace, correct? I want to
It is mice, yeah.
Yeah, it's mice. Thank you, honey. And I apologize for mispronouncing it. I also just want to say before I introduce Triet to come in and ask his questions, I just want to say I have not been able to stop eating your crackers. They are so good.
Yes.
So good. Triet, please come in and ask away.
Hey, Sarah. Thank you so much for the presentation. I know that with our office, it was interesting to know that everyone really liked the taste. I think the sea salt was the most popular one. But when we dove a little deeper into the folks that brought it home to their family, a lot of the younger kids really enjoy the size that you guys are producing them at. Is that intentional? And walk me through, are you planning to add additional SKUs, or, you know, like, are you just really just stick with those 3 for right now?
For sure. So our original intent in the launch was to do 2 things: to create a cracker that could fit an all family usage occasion, and to fit a cracker that could fit a snack occasion. We really wanted to be the cracker in your pantry that you reach for 2 times a week, or you put in your kid's lunchbox every day. There's certainly crackers in the category that get put on a charcuterie board twice a year, right? And that's amazing, but we really wanted to be that everyday usage occasion. And then the second question was, do we foresee extensions in the future? Absolutely. We're currently working on a cheddar SKU right now. We had intended to launch it, but when we launched last year, if you guys remember, the supply chain situation was a little dicey. And so we pivoted and launched everything instead. That's in the works. And then I think that there's a lot of innovation opportunity with different sizes and shapes in the future.
And I believe we saw in your deck that currently your margins are a little bit under 35%. So walk me through, what is the plan to reach 50% margins?
So we have been challenged as a startup to run the longer runs that really get more efficient. If anybody's familiar, without getting too technical, cracker manufacturing goes typically through large tunnel ovens. And when you're only running a few thousand cases at a time, those runs aren't very efficient. So by our projections and based on other products that our manufacturer runs, we'll start to see significant margin gains as we start running more cases per production run.
And definitely educate me on this. You mentioned that it takes less time to grow the seeds and all this stuff, and you're able to plant them and harvest them in a lot of different locations. But end of the day, it is still seasonality. So do you see price fluctuation from your supplier for the seeds?
Not across the year. Like, they're generally, even though seeds are harvested, once a year or in several crops, they're bringing them in and storing them and then converting the flour in such a way that we have price stability across the annual calendar.
All right. And let's pretend that, all the investor judges here are on your board, right? So let's say we all invested, we took a board seat. What is the number one topic that you would want us to help you solve to really get you to, a strong Series A?
We're really focused right now on continuing to drive velocity. In this first year, we're turning in about the middle of the category, which, considering that we've bootstrapped this and didn't have a ton of money to spend, I really want to focus on efforts on unlocking those turns in the stores where we're currently selling.
Yeah, that's all the questions I have. I'd love to leave the time for the other judges.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Triet.
Triet. Anyone else?
I think
Yeah, I
there's
have
a question. Oh, Liz?
about the competitive set. This is a category that has seen some innovation over the last decade, and you talked about how your formulation is differentiated and the ingredient and nutrient density. What type of response are you getting from buyers in a category that feels crowded?
Well, we've closed 100% of the retail accounts that we actively pitched this year. So, I think the response has actually been phenomenal. What I've been surprised about actually is, to some extent, you expect enthusiasm from buyers within the natural channel. I've actually been surprised by how many conventional buyers have noticed the product and have communicated to me that they believe the product will move off of their shelves. We don't build large businesses in the natural channel alone. We really always need that conventional channel, right? And so to get those early validation points from a store like H-E-B, I think is really meaningful. Even in what is definitely a crowded and competitive category. Thank you.
Thank you. Liz,
Sarah,
you had a question?
Liz, yeah, just more details on the raise, please.
For sure. So we're currently raising a $750,000 convertible note. Obviously that has a cap and interest rate. We expect those dollars to fund the next 18 months of growth, of which after that we'd look to do a priced round or a seed round.
And the valuation cap and discount on the...
Oh, sure. Sorry, Liz. Valuation cap is 4.5 million, interest 10%, and a discount of 20%.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Liz. And thank you, investors, judges, while you deliberate. We will banter for a second. Luke, I have a question for you.
Of course.
Okay. Zoom has $1 zillion, correct? About?
Okay, sure.
Can you tell me why they can't get the background set right with all of this?
I know that is so annoying, but that's okay. It's visually interesting, and yeah, I also really enjoyed Sarah's presentation. I mean, she's doing it right? She's going step by step, starting with Clark's and Sprouts, and then just validating now, checking out conventional. She's a path to profitability. But that 50% gross margin over the next couple of years. I mean, this is an exciting brand.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's really funny. We're recovering CPG founders, Ala and I, and literally listening to this, all these conversations and pitches. Ala turns to me and says, maybe we should start another CPG brand.
It's so easy. It's so easy.
Again.
All right. Anyway, Humble Seed, I have to say, I was munching and munching and munching and munching, and it was just really
crackers,
addictive
Sarah.
and incredible.
Yes.
So great job. Really, really true.
That's so true.
Yep. So now, finalist number 5.
Woohoo!
Jason.
Jason.
The great Jason.
for Deo.
Deo.
Hi, everyone. And that is a high bar that I will certainly walk under, but good to be here. Awesome. All right. Well, bringing up the rear here. Good afternoon. My name is Jason McAlpin. I'm the founder and CEO of Deo. I'm excited to share more about a brand launching next year that I believe can reinvent premium sparkling water. So let's dive in. Starting with the consumer, who I call the healthy-ish millennial, right? These are the folks who are already spending all their time on work, a side hustle, significant other, family, social life, and still somehow is expected to cook nutritious meals, work out, get a good night's sleep. And that leads to two truths. The first being they want to live a healthy lifestyle, but it's hard. And within beverages, this group has therefore moved away from sweetened, sugary drinks in favor of sparkling water. But that leads to the second truth, which is they really want to like sparkling water, but they need more. So what is more? Well, from research, there are three things that are most desirable in their ideal sparkling water, right? One is keep it as a true water, free of non-water stuff like sugars and sweeteners and artificial ingredients, etc. Give it a bolder, more unique, but still refreshing flavor. And then three, add in benefits that are safe, effective, and can keep them going. So let's look for those three attributes in the sparkling water category. So within the $6 billion a year and growing sparkling water market, there are two main subcategories in mainstream and premium. These are great waters, but no functionality and very light flavor, if any at all. And then the market jumps into functional beverages, such as CBD waters, kombucha sodas, etc. And these are great brands, but they aren't really waters, as they almost always have sugars and sweeteners and sometimes artificial ingredients. And so if you're that healthy-ish millennial looking for that ideal sparkling water, well, where do you turn? Well, that's the opportunity in the market, and that's where I see Deo fitting in. So this is Deo. Simply, it's a better sparkling water. And let me explain why it's better. So this is the full lineup that you'll see in market next year. From left to right, you have wellness with vitamin C and zinc and a strawberry elderflower flavor to boost your immune system. Next is balance with shelf-stable probiotics and postbiotics and a citrus hibiscus flavor to improve your gut health. Then there's mind with natural caffeine and L-theanine meant to help focus without the crash and jitters from energy drinks and a white peach yuzu flavor. And lastly, hydrate with sports drink level electrolytes and a melon lemongrass flavor. And then the following year, you'll see us launch beauty with collagen and biotin, which I like to show as an example of how the brand can keep expanding into more and more benefit spaces. And then commercially across all, Deo is sold in custom glass singles for $2.99, has full sophisticated flavor, but with true functionality, all without sugars and sweeteners, which is an incredible difficult combination to achieve. And it's also 100% natural, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, etc. And so in short, this is not a kombucha soda or an energy drink, but a better sparkling water. And that's key because I see this sitting in the premium sparkling water set alongside San Pellegrino, Topo Chico, Perrier, etc. And this is a set filled with brands that are over 130 years old, but haven't materially evolved since then. And so Deo will not only modernize this set, but expand it by recruiting new shoppers in via that functionality, which of course is an important retailer story. And then speaking of retail, here's the approach to distribution for year one. And you'll see us focus on physical retail, where the bottle can catch your eye, bring you to shelf, and allow for that easy $3 trial. And specifically, you'll see us focus on outlets where healthy-ish millennials live their lives. So yes, that's grocery and natural and market, but that's also food service and restaurants, hospitality and hotels, at work, gyms, spas, coffee shops, etc. And just as important is where you won't see the brand. In year one, you won't see Deo in convenience retail, in club, in drug, in mass, or in value. We'll evolve into those channels over time. And from a marketing perspective, you'll also see a brand next year that will be what I call millennial honest. So in a world where millennials are bombarded by fanciful, frankly unbelievable product claims, Deo will tell you what the brand won't do. Like Deo Balance won't help explain that 2.5-hour lunch break you took, but it can help you digest those extra tacos. Or Deo Hydrate won't help you win that pitch slam, but it will help you with that awkward cotton mouth. So in a premium sparkling water category that tends to be a bit stoic and stodgy, Deo will be subversive, cultural, hyper-relevant, all while reinforcing the brand's benefits. And then lastly, a critical piece of the brand's foundation, and something that's important to me personally, is all about education. And so to help provide kids born below the poverty line the best chance at future economic mobility, Deo will partner with and donate to charities that provide quality grade school education access and resources to kids, primarily Black and brown kids, living in disadvantaged neighborhoods across the nation. And all of that is year one, but as I mentioned, the brand is going to evolve and expand over time. So in the early years, it's truly a depth over breadth strategy. We'll launch in the Atlanta and Southeast region with the channels I mentioned, but then we'll purposely expand into other regions in future years. So year 2 would Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, year 3 West, year 4 Southwest, year 5 national, while maintaining that regional focus. And this coincides with channel expansion and route to market. So in year 2, we'll look to expand into mass with retailers such as Target. Or year 3, convenience retail with retailers such as Circle K. Year 4, more national into existing channels, et cetera. And so this phased approach will allow the brand to build a strong base of drinkers, ensure high execution and velocities while remaining capital efficient. And with execution against that plan, I see the brand growing to eventually become a $45 million net revenue brand in year 5. And that growth is underpinned by healthy margins that will expand over time, not just from scale, but from specific actions meant to remove costs, such as evolving from glass to recycled PET or aluminum, evolving from corrugate box to tray shrink, et cetera, et cetera. And we're currently raising $750,000 to launch and service the really terrific retailer and consumer feedback we've received to date. And then lastly, to ensure success, I've surrounded myself with advisors and partners that are truly beverage experts, like David, who led R&D for brands like Smart Water, Powerade, Vitamin Water, and more. Like Terry, who led Coke's contract manufacturing for over 20 years, or even Firmenich, who's the second largest flavor house in the world and developed Deo's terrific taste. And I myself spent more than 8 years at Coca-Cola, where I relaunched Vitamin Water, led Powerade, launched 10 new beverage products in the market, and more. And so that's Deo. And as I wrap up, I'll leave you with this. After almost 9 years in beverages, I know there's no silver bullet to winning within this category. You can't win simply because you're in a good subcategory, simply because you got great packaging. It takes a combination. And so believe with Deo's combination of differentiated ingredients, eye-catching packaging, surprisingly great taste, the education mission, and strong beverage expertise, I truly believe the brand has the formula necessary to reinvent premium sparkling water and ensure long-term success. So thanks for your time. Look forward to your questions.
Awesome, Jason. I absolutely love what you're doing here. All right. So Shayna, it's your turn. Please join us and ask away.
Great. Thanks, Jason. That was a high energy presentation to bring it home. So appreciate it. I'm currently drinking the peach yuzu and it is delicious. So thank you. I chose Mind so that I could focus on today's presentations in an exciting and long afternoon. So thanks for helping to fuel that. First question really is around, what was the data point that got you to really realize there was an opportunity here in the category? We've obviously seen lots of brands launch in the last couple of years. Some have completely skyrocketed. It's been phenomenal to believe there could be more innovation in this space. So what was really the set of data points that got you to narrow in that this is the opportunity, this is what I want to do, with this chapter of my entrepreneurial career?
Yeah, it's a great question. There was a combination. I think one is food and beverages that can do more than just taste good, but that can improve your health was a big one, right? So 65% of folks saying that I want my food and beverage to do more than just taste. I want the enhanced functionality, more benefits. I think that was one. The growth of sparkling water, especially as people move away from sugar and away from sweeteners, right? And then of course there's some science that keeps coming out more and more about sweeteners and some of the negative health benefits, which so a lot of people migrating to sparkling water. But it's funny that the original idea came when I had my son a couple of years ago, as I was changing diapers and wiping noses and I wasn't taking care of myself. And I was jumping between kombuchas and energy drinks and wellness shots. And I was all over the board. And I said, man, I really would just like a great tasting, refreshing sparkling water that's got more flavor than like LaCroix of the world, but that has some of those benefits from those other adjacent categories. And it was kind of all of those things that led me to create something that I would want and that I think satisfies the market as well.
Yeah, and it certainly does. I mean, the flavor of this is really notable and differentiated. Can you talk about the functional components of each of these beverages and kind of what the evidence is behind the functionality of Mind, calm versus, hydration, et cetera?
Absolutely. So one of the things I really want to do is have integrity behind each individual SKU. So if I'm saying there's something in it, there needs to be enough in it that it has that physiological benefit in your body. So for example, with Balance, with gut health, 2 billion probiotic, which is kind of akin to a lot of kombuchas, right? So you have that true gut health benefit. Mind is another good one, right? So you've got 80 milligrams of natural caffeine, which is kind of a small cup of coffee, with 160 milligrams of L-theanine. That 2-to-1 ratio and that combination essentially allows you to be alert and focused. But the L-theanine prevents that crash, the jittery, the anxiety that tends to come along with energy drinks, right? So you're left with just the ability to kind of have a greater focus. But the other thing I wanted to do was have things that made sense throughout your day. So is there a bad time to improve your gut health? Is there a bad time to improve your hydration? I wanted to make sure that it still had the frequency with the taste as well as with the benefits.
Okay. And I know the other judges have questions. So just a last quick one, and we're going to hand it over. Talk about the use of funds for this 750.
Yeah, so I've actually gone out and done a tremendous amount of conceptual selling, getting in front of retailers through my own network, but also almost door to door through Atlanta. So I know there's a lot of great retailer interest here. So the funds are really to launch, all procurement, everything that comes along with actually getting the product on shelf, but then to surround those points of distribution with the merchandising support, right? Everything that you need to ensure that it actually comes off the shelf. And that really kind of bubbles up into a year one initiative or imperative, which is drive velocity, which is why I'm starting regional. Drive velocity, surround the market where you're at, build for future capital raises and future expansion.
Great. Jason, I would just also echo delicious product, great job. Branding is awesome. I think for you, the only challenge is kind of your state where you are right now. It's pre-revenue, and we tried different types of samples that's not in final packaging. The area that just puts my eyes is the glass bottle, early state volumes, $2.99, functional benefits, price margin. Are you sure? Like, tell us a little bit about how much rigor you've gone into that to have confidence of hitting that retail price, and at that retail price, what margins?
Yeah, it's a great question. So there's a lot of kind of things in there. I think one is price, and then there's kind of margin. I wanted to make sure that both were set before I decided to go out and launch, especially raise money. Price wise, I wanted to be at that $3 in kind of traditional retail. Above that, you start to lose a lot of frequency from the research, right? So below that, you get some great frequency. The category actually is already premiumizing. There's some great brands like Sanzo or Orbor who are already at that $2.50 per can. So the question I had to ask myself and validate with consumers, which is an extra 50 cents worth it when you think about that functionality difference, right? And I think what I'm hearing back is absolutely yes. In fact, consumers in the research that I've done said that, oh, this will cost $4.17 as I summarize all the research. And it cost $2.99. So that balance is really important. They're seeing a lot of value in it. Retailers as well, they're seeing the value in it as well. And then on the margin, oh, good. I think you have another question.
No, sorry. I don't like $2.99 sounds great. It almost feels too good is where right. I'm saying is that, tell me a little bit about your COGS, and like, let's say we wanted Jason, like, we'd love to see you at a 40% margin, and there's stuff you have to put within trade and some of the channels you're going to play in. How did you get your costs, and what were your assumptions to be $2.99? I wonder whether you're really going to be $3.99.
It's a great question. In other channels, so think coffee, hospitality, restaurants, you'll see $3.50 to $4 in those channels. In traditional retail, you'll see the $2.99. But I've really worked my personal network, a lot of my advisors, ensuring that the costs are really manageable. So for example, the individual bottle cost is less than $1. And that allows you to have a fully loaded distributor margin, fully loaded retailer margin, fully loaded brokerage fee, fully loaded trade spend, until it still hit that 36 to 37% margin. And then you can grow from there by evolving your packaging mix, evolving some of your secondary packaging, et cetera. So there's upward mobility that you can do in the non-traditional channels. So think kind of the restaurants and hospitality. In traditional retail, I like the idea of being at that $2.99 so that you're actually getting the frequency that you need within the category as well.
Awesome.
Right. Thank you so much. All right, we're done with the pitches, with the questions. I will ask the investors to jump into the deliberation room after this. Well, we just finished that. So
yeah.
So jump into the deliberation room. And everyone else, listen up. Stick around to the networking event after the live entertainment. So we've got live entertainment. It will not be myself nor Allah. I don't know if Luke is going to do something on stage, but we do have some professional live entertainment, which you do not want to miss. Thank you, everyone, for for presenting and for the questions.
And just to wrap up on Jason's incredible presentation, I just want to say I'm really excited for you, because when I first came across your product for this event, I was like, how did no one think of this yet?
Yeah. The other thing I will say is, how the hell did he put a honeydew melon in a bottle? How did he do that? I don't know how he did it. You know? All right. So, look, what did you think? You got great products. How do you pick?
Yeah. How do you choose, right?
How do you choose? And you have companies at very different stages, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so it's really dependent as an investor, you know, where you like to play, right? And I would say it would be a very hard choice for me.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're talking about like pre-market, we're talking about just launching into natural. We're talking about the first two that were pretty advanced in terms to the market penetration in different markets they were going into.
Yeah.
But all of them were so put together today. And I think it's really going to be hard for these judges to decide.
Yeah.
And they all have a journey ahead. You and I know, you know, we all know what journey they have in retail, with trade, with all of the other aspects that they have to deal with. It will be a roller coaster of a lifetime. But I think it's worth it if they have a product. You know, they're dreamers, right? You got these dreamers who want to help others succeed and just taste and feel what they feel. And I think we have to honor these folks.
Absolutely. They're innovating in their space. They're taking huge risks to bring their dreams forward, right? So we can enjoy healthier, better for you products, which is why Yuval and I are so excited about being in this industry, being in the emerging space, because we know what it is. And, you know, you risk everything. You put your heart, soul, blood, sweat, tears, and then you see people enjoying your product, and it makes it so worth it. So we're just rooting for everybody here. And regardless of who wins, I have a feeling all 5 of these brands are going to do very well.
Yeah, me too.
And speaking of that, and continue with those hearts and those emojis. We really love seeing them on the participant on screen.
Yeah.
So it's time to vote for your favorite pitch.
Fan favorite poll, guys.
So who's it going to be? Groovy, Steeped, Postabilities, The Humble Seed, or Deo? Let's put in your favorite. I wonder who it's going to be.
Gotta pick one.
I wonder who it's going to be.
What if it's a tie?
Great.
You know,
Five-way
what
tie.
if it was a 5-way tie? Wouldn't that be crazy? Yes, absolutely. I don't even know. I got to be honest with you. I don't even know. It's crazy. Good luck, everyone, on that one. That's fantastic.
And I heard there were a lot of applicants this year, like a lot. So just the fact that these 5 even were chosen.
It's huge.
Huge. And so it just goes to show there's so many founders and dreamers out there who are very passionate about bringing their idea and their product to market so that all of us can live a healthier, better life. And that just makes me so happy because I live this lifestyle. So I appreciate better for you products. How about you, Luke?
I agree. I'm just thinking about each one of these founders is playing in an area that was a mature category, right? And they're creating something. Each of them created something that is differentiated, that creates a unique and special experience that just makes going to the grocery store even more fun.
Right.
And the other part too is I have 4 kids. 2 of them were at home sampling all these products with me, and it was great to see that, you know, besides the groovy, all of them. But we don't want to encourage alcohol use in 7-year-olds, but they love
but
them
it's
all.
non-alcoholic, Luke.
Yes.
I know.
Get them started now.
That's what my 14-year-old said. That's what the 14-year-old said.
I would say that I don't believe it's child abuse to provide non-alcoholic beverages, better for you beverages to babies.
It's not a gateway drug for a baby.
Well, you know, it might be, but you got to get them started early. It's okay.
We ease them in.
Luke, don't listen to us.
Yeah.
We don't have children.
We have no children.
Can you coach me? I need coaching.
No, we can't keep plants alive. All right, so forget about children. All right. So that being said, we have a sponsor video.
Yes.
For everyone to enjoy.
Yes.
So Jenna, take it away. Nice.
Awesome. That's great.
Michael Movitz did all the animations himself last night. It was crazy. It was crazy. All right. So now we're going to have a sponsor video for Tetra Pak. And Pedro is calling in from Brazil. How's Brazil going, Pedro?
The whole country.
Are you on, Pedro? Is your mic working? Pedro is the Vice President of Marketing for the United States and Canadian market for Tetra Pak. And he's joining us from Brazil. There you are.
There he is.
Pedro.
Yeah, hello. How are you?
Great to see you.
Nice to be here.
Awesome.
By the way, great program so far.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Tetra Pak. We've been around for a long time. This is a company that I'm very proud to work for. And if you can go for the next slide, we are very well known for being like a leading processing packaging solution company that basically, if you can go for the next slide, our brand promise is to protect food, people, and the planet. And we protect food by making it like a safe and available everywhere. People by protecting the health. I mean, the concept that we have today doesn't need any preservatives to preserve food, and also it's very safe. And the planet with policies to make like our operations as sustainable as possible. And talking about sustainability on the next slide, we work in 3 different areas to make sure that we have circular products, also that we can use more natural materials and also fight the climate. So we work a lot to decarbonize our operations, to have the lowest carbon footprint packages available and operations for our customers. Next. And we don't offer only packages. We also work with a number of different assortment of products for the industry, like processing equipment. A few facts as a matter of curiosity. Over 60% of the ice cream done in US is done in Tetra Pak equipment, and 70% of the cheese that you find in a pizza or something is done on Tetra Pak equipment. And also provide packages in different formats that don't need refrigeration, and they don't need preservatives to hold even low acid products with a very low carbon footprint. And we support our customers, and especially co-manufacturers, that's very common in the US, with a service team that can keep the machines in a high performance. But we also are about innovation. Next, please. And you can see us in many different innovative products in the market, like Premier Protein. I believe all of you know this one, very successful protein shake that a lot of people use, or Chobani creamers, or plant-based, or even our retorted package, that Cattle and Fire, that's basically is like a can, but much more sustainable and much more efficient in logistics. Next, please. But when I said that the innovations at our DNA, we have an entire ecosystem to support brands, and we are proud to partner with Brandjectory, and we offer to our customers the service from Brandjectory to help, like especially the emerging brands and the startups to succeed. But we also have a lot of business insights and analytics. We have a pilot plant, a product development center, in fact, that I'm going to talk in the next slide, that serves the most of the industry. We also can help a lot on finding the right places to play, to help on promotion, on sustainability and everything. And talking about all of our pilot plants, is an FDA approved pilot plant that is used only for innovation and creating new products, and we support also with formulation services. And the majority of the carton products that you see in the market today have gone through this pilot plant. It's available for all the market, and has been helping the industry to come up with a lot of innovative products that especially adds to the help of to help people to be healthier and to help on their lifestyles. And we are super proud to be here today. Innovation is our DNA. We help more than 100 products come to life every year from different customers, and we are helped to be talking with any of you as well that might be interested to innovate with us and accelerate. Thank you.
Thank you, Pedro. That was
Pedro, I'm
awesome.
taking a flight to Brazil. We're gonna have dinner. How's that? The food's
Yeah,
gotta be good.
you have to do it until Monday.
Well, Pedro, thank you so much. I guess we are moving on to our next sponsor promotion, and it will be Eric Griswold from Mondelez. Eric,
Thank
nice
you.
to have you.
Thank you so much. First and foremost, this is an incredible event. So I want to thank Brandjectory for hosting this incredible event. Thank you to the panelists and everybody that's participated. Absolutely great event. So just want to put that out there. So hello, everyone. My name is Eric Griswold. As mentioned, I work for Mondelez International, and I'm representing Mondelez's Snack Future Ventures team. Next slide, please. Very brief introduction of myself. I'm a portfolio finance manager. I spent about 4 years of my career in supply chain, and then spent about 5 years at the Hershey Company in commercial and finance roles. A lot of people tend to ask me, what's your superpower? Well, really simply, it's taking a lot of data and figuring out what the story is. And these are just a few of my favorite Mondelez products. Obviously, you can't go wrong with a good Oreo. Next slide, please. So the meat and potatoes, what is Snack Futures Ventures? Quite simply, it is Mondelez International's venture capital arm. We have 5 incredibly passionate individuals on our team that scour the globe to find innovation, disruptive innovation, whether that be products, technologies, route to markets, or ingredients. Our whole idea is to make minority investments, typically around the Series A. Sometimes we'll do it a little bit later, sometimes a little bit earlier, just depends. But our sweet spot is Series A. And our investment is to invest to acquire. That's the whole idea. So we want to make our investments, help scale the business to where it becomes an opportunity for an M&A acquisition. One of the key things that I think differentiates the Snack Futures team versus other funds or corporate ventures is not only do you have access to all the skills and expertise and experiences the 5 of us offer, but also you can leverage the power of Mondelez. So whether you have a very technical, oven engineering question, or you have a route to market question, or you have a challenge to scale, we can leverage all of Mondelez's power to help you scale that business. So I thought it'd be a good idea, next slide, to kind of leave everybody with some best practices on pitching to corporate VCs. Next slide, please. First and foremost, tell your story. Succinctly, 8 to 10 slides is usually the best practice. Create a story. I always tell people, don't look at individual slides, but create a holistic story about who you are, where it started, and where you want to go. Believe. What makes us believe in you or your product? Or if you're creating a new category, what are the reasons to believe in your brand versus the competition? And then also the future. Tell your vision. What is the future for your brand? Where do you want to go and how are you going to get there? And then the last slide is my top 3 do's and don'ts. Do share consumer insights, especially if you're a small brand. You may be at a trade show or sampling or wherever you are. Find those little details to share your story because those are the reasons to believe. Share why you want or frankly need a strategic. Is it a route to market? Is it there's particular retailers that you want to get into? We are very founder focused, and then we also want to be partners with our portfolio company. So we want to know what can we provide you beyond the financial means. Obviously, know your numbers. What are your gross margins? How are you going to improve? What's your growth strategy? Don't create a novel. I've had people send me 150 slides. It's really hard to get through all that and really understand the story of who you are. Build an authentic story for yourself, right? Don't try to build a growth story based off of what you think a venture capital wants or a fund wants. Build your story, your growth story of how you want to build your own business. And last but not least, if you're asking for funds, be clear on where and how you want to utilize those funds. And then lastly, I know that was very quick, but if you want to stay in touch, the next slide will have our corporate website. You can email me or also connect on LinkedIn. I'm always here to help founders and new businesses. Thank you, everyone, and good luck.
Eric, thank you so much. That was awesome. I love what you're doing with emerging brands. It's just so awesome to have a larger company really help the smaller brands, and that's fantastic. And now,
thank you,
the man, the legend, David Abrams from Eye Level Brands, our friend. David, take it away.
Sorry, hopefully I got unmuted here.
You're there, you're good.
I want to let you color commentary guys and hosts know that you're doing a phenomenal job.
Thanks, David.
The whole, you're almost ready for the new Good Morning America, whatever show by now.
Hey, coming from a legend, that's a big compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and this event is awesome. I mean, just quick intro. So I think kind of like I fit like right in the middle of this where I could almost pitch my business. The genesis of Eye Level Brands was I started out in the shoes of the founders with my tea company back in the late 90s, importing rooibos from South Africa. We had great sales success, but couldn't compete with the big guys, and that was that. So I started as a brand, did some consulting, and I went to work for a broker, which some of you older guys might remember. Wildfire Sales pioneered the supermarket department. They got bought by Impact and so on and so forth. So I'm like, I've been a customer, I've supplied the services, I can build a better brokerage model because it doesn't exist. So next slide. So the key thing that I saw was you got to have a smaller line list so that your employees can focus on the brands. They need to be able to sell, not take orders. And then for our business to succeed, we have to be very good at picking the highest quality brands we can represent. And then technology. And that's the key to being, very good at delivering a product. And I have 2 degrees in engineering. So it's like, I'm going to figure out how to engineer a better brokerage. Next slide. So the key thing about Eye Level is our Turnpike systems. It's our own software. We build it, we can modify it, and it is designed to solve common problems for most of our brands that are out there. So the key thing, get you new business. That's sell it. Then once we've got it, analyze it. How are we doing? Is it turning? Do we have the right promos? Support? Are you getting, the brand manager need to help you? Are you getting the distributor paperwork that you need done for you? And then the last part, which actually is where we started, is our web ordering system. This is like Amazon.com for independent retailers. Next. So in a nutshell, these are all the icons of the big retailers that everybody wants to get into, and we can help you do that. Next. What you'll see with Eye Level is we have more retailers per salesperson, but having that with less brands is way better than the other way around. And I learned that from my experience working for a broker. So we can really know how to sell your product. And once you get the hang of the category reviews and whatnot at a retail, it becomes plug and play. That's the easy part. Next. Same thing with the indies. Everybody's got that little bucket of stores that they manage. We've got the big supernatural supermarket. Natural food stores on the left, like Sprouts, Whole Foods, Fresh Time, etc. Next. Here's the sexy part, the client dashboards. So all of our clients are going to get a dashboard like this, which is going to give you insight into what we're doing and how we're growing your business. Next. So you can see trends. You can see the best banners year over year. You can drill down by item, by store, supermarket, indie, whatever level you like. This is distributed data from a DC into a retailer. So it's not spins, but what it does is allow us to collaborate transparently with our clients and say, hey, look at what we're doing. Are we moving cases into stores? Is it slowing down? What's the velocity? All kinds of things to help you see what we're doing to grow your business. And a lot of times brokers just don't want you to know this. You don't want to tell you the truth. We can't hide with this kind of system. You get it, you see it, we work together to get you the results you want. Next. Ooh, keep going. I guess I said that already. Another key thing, sales reporting. Every month, we're going to give you a report saying this is what we did for you. This is who we presented to. This is what happened. So this is for the independent retailers. Next. Same kind of thing with the key accounts. This is when the review started. This is when we presented. This is what we need. This is what happened. This is when the resets happen. Here's a decision, so on and so forth. Next, paperwork, all that other stuff you need, but you don't want to touch, we do it. Next, brand team to help you with your strategy to create a go-to-market strategy that is just for you. Next, we have databases. Every deal we put into the system with distributors, retailers, we capture, you can see it. Next, Amazon.com, the Turnpike web store. Next, so every one of our brands has their own home for their brand in Shop Turnpike. We can do marketing like the spotlight deals to feature items so buyers can see it. There's about 5,000 indies that have access to this account, this platform. Next, you will have your own homepage, sell sheets, decks, videos, nothing paper anymore. It's all digital on here 24/7. When a buyer goes through this, they can see everything about your item, add to cart, submit, boom, turnover goes to the distributor. Buyers are not going to do this on their own. Our indie team is going to set up a meeting with them every week and walk them through what's new, what's on sale, what's hot. And the buyer will say, that's cool, add it to my cart. I like this. Do they have a free for? I'll take that. What's the promo? Boom. We get the order done, submitted. You know, our ability to speed to shelf with indie is unparalleled. And COVID allowed this, you know, we had to kill our app when COVID hit because of this. Next.
All right, David, thank you so much. We know how important data is. What you can't measure, you can't change. So appreciate you. And ladies and gentlemen, we got some entertainment in the house. Told you we should be waiting. You should wait for, stick around. Stephen Hoffman, the legend, please.
Another
Take it.
legend.
We have many legends here.
Wow.
This is the Brandjectory legendary show, right? Steve Hoffman, take us away, entertain us.
Thank you, folks. A legend in my own mind, maybe, but I'm very pleased to be with you today, very pleased to be working in the natural and organic space. And music is a love of mine, so I love it when I get the opportunity to combine both. So thank you very much, and I'll play this song for you. As I walk through this old wicked world, searching for light in the darkness of insanity, I ask myself, is all hope lost? Is there only pain and hatred and misery? And each time I feel like this inside, one thing I wanna know, yeah, what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Oh, what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? As I walk through these troubled times, my spirit gets so downhearted sometimes. So where are the strong? Who are the trusted? Where is the harmony, sweet harmony? And each time I feel it slipping away, what makes me wanna cry? Yeah, what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Oh, what's so funny about how peace, love, and understanding? So where are the strong? Who are the trusted? Where is the harmony, sweet harmony? And each time I feel like like this inside. One thing I wanna know, yeah, what's so funny about peace and love and understanding? Oh, what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Oh, what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding?
Wow. All right, give it up to Stephen
Great.
Hoffman. All right.
Thank you, Steve. That was great.
Lots of hearts. You did amazing. Amazing. All right, I see Michael on the stage here.
And Susan.
And Susan.
And
So that
Tom.
must be some big news coming up. All right, we're going to present, I believe, if I'm correct, the investor committee thank you video. Is that correct, Michael? Nod your head. Yes, no? Yep, we're good. All right, investor committee thank you video coming up. All right, that was awesome. Next, I believe we will have, if I'm correct, the fan favorite announcement. Is that correct? And the winner. And the winner is, drum roll,
Fan favorite.
is almost C. There we go. Sarah,
Congratulations, Sarah.
congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so humbled.
Yes.
I knew you would say that.
You planted the seed and now look what happened.
Rewards are coming.
Right? Awesome.
Congrats, honey. That's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
And the next, and what you've
Big
all been waiting for, okay, is the announcement of the grand prize. And unlike Steve Harvey in the Miss Universe pageant, we will announce the correct winner. And the winner is Groovy. Nikki, congratulations, Nikki.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
$250,000.
That's awesome. Nikki, what do you have to say? Where's your speech?
I just want to say that's a very groovy decision for all you guys. So no, but all seriously, like this is an awesome event, and big thank you to the other founders for their pitches. They were absolutely incredible. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So where do we go from here, Michael?
We are going to transition. Oh, we have one more thank you video, and then we're going to have some entertainment as we transition over into our post-event party and networking session. So we're going to promote everybody up to the gallery here.
And Steve is gonna play us into the networking. So please, Steve and Jenna, take it away. And after the networking video, after the thank you video ends, we will invite you all to join networking.
Awesome.
used to ride with this vending machine repairman. Said he'd been down this road more than twice. He was high on intellectualism. Said I'd never been there, but the brochure looked nice. Jump in, let's go. Lay back now, enjoy the show. Everybody get high, everybody get low. These are the days when anything goes. Every day is a winding road. I get a little bit closer now. Every day is a faded sign. I get a little bit closer to feeling fine. Well, he got a daughter he called Easter. She was born on a Tuesday night. Wondering why I'm feeling so alone. Why I'm a stranger in my own life. Jump in, let's go. Lay back now, enjoy the show. Everybody gets high, everybody gets low. These are the days when anything goes. Every day is a winding road. I get a little bit closer now. Every day is a faded sign. I get a little bit closer, I'm feeling fine. Yes, I'm feeling fine. Well, I've been living in a sea of anarchy. I've been living on coffee and nicotine. I've been wondering if everything I've seen is ever really happening, ever really happening. Every day is a winding road. I get a little bit closer now. Every day is a faded sign. I get a little bit closer, yeah. Every day is a winding road. I get a little bit closer, yeah. Every day is a faded sign. I get a little bit closer now to feeling fine. Yeah, I'm feeling fine. Feeling fine.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. We were boogieing over here. So thank you, Steve Hoffman, founder and CEO of Compass Natural Marketing. Does a great job, has been in the industry for years. And we really appreciate you giving us this opportunity today. So thank you so much.
Likewise, thank you all.
Thank you. So we are going to start a networking session.